guys, welcome to Andertons TV. I'm Ben.
And I'm John.
And this is Sounds Like.
Avenged Sevenfold. I absolutely love this band.
Yeah.
Just being real, I'm a huge fanboy. I'll own it.
I definitely don't have an Avenged Sevenfold tattoo.
Mate, I honestly, Sinister Gates and Zaki Vengeance, but Sinister Gates mainly was the reason I got into like guitar deeply.
Yeah.
Like, I play guitar, but then as soon as I got into Avenged, I was like, I want to be a guitarist now.
Yeah.
So I owe a lot to Avenged Sevenfold. Anyway, this will be fun. You're going to be kind of Zaki Vengeance, right? And
so
I'll be Sinister Gates.
Two very, and if you watch videos of those two together, they'll admit that Zaki Vengeance is the old school punk kid.
Yeah.
Really.
Hardcore background, yeah.
Still just plays like it's all about riffs, hard picking, whereas Sinister Gates, I mean, he's like jazz schooled, I think, as well.
Yeah, gypsy jazz.
His dad's like a pro session guy as well.
Yeah.
So John's going to be Sinister Gates, I'm going to be Zaki Vengeance, and I think we're going to be doing this around about the £1,000 mark.
Yeah,
Again,
we're going to do our best.
I think that's definitely doable. Back in the day, obviously, they all used to use amps. I know Zaki was on Jet City for God knows the longest time.
I think Sinister used Bogner, Masaboogie as well for a bit in terms of guitars.
Marshall on the Nightmare stuff.
Yeah, Marshall as well.
I think now they're all on Axe Effects. So
yeah, I did a bit of digging for that.
Yeah.
And he uses EVH amps on his presets.
That was the one thing I didn't know.
I went deep for it, and I think with like a rat pedal, which I was so not expecting that at all. But and then I kind of dialed it in on my rig, and I was like, oh yeah, I kind of get that. And he has invaders, like they're all mega high output pickups. So we need to look for that, and of course a Floyd. I need for a
You're definitely going to need a Floyd, and he uses a lot of chorus and modulation on leads.
Yeah, and a good clean tone as well.
He's got really good.
So like full spectrum, to be honest. I've got a lot to pack into a grand.
You've got a lot to do. I've got a guitar and an amp, really.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
But we'll see. I think let's go guitar land first. Okay. So I think let's start with you.
Right.
I think yours is going to be the biggest challenge here, getting something that's...
we may be a while. I'll try and be as swift as I can be. So I'm looking for 6-string, something that can go drop D. It may have to have a lock-in nut for a grand. I'm just going to have
to. I don't think Gretsch will cut it.
No, so let's just ignore that part of the wall for the time being. Probably not Gibson or Epiphone. PRS probably won't do it either unless there's a lock-in. Oh, actually.
Yeah, they do have the custom 24 Floyd.
But that's 869, so if I'm saying a grand, that's very tight.
I know EVH do a couple of decent budget ones. 549.
That could be a very good shout, actually.
It's not a bad shout.
That's my favourite so far, actually. Yeah.
Schecter
would be.
It is the Avenged brand.
They would be on brand, but they haven't got any of the SIGs. Obviously, that'd be too much anyway.
Omen Elite 6. This is 599. And to be fair, I know you mentioned that he uses invaders. I think if you look at his signature models now, they're Schecter own brand pickups. Yeah, the Sinister Gates ones, the chrome covers. Yeah. I mean... Schecter's own brand pickups are...
I do love Schecters, actually.
Pretty elite. I'm just thinking for the sake of...
Very light.
£50 more than the EVH to go on brand.
I might get that. That's currently the winner. Do you know what? That's what I'm going for.
Sweet.
It's already in drop D. Oh. There we go. It was meant to be. Do you want to do your guitar next? Yeah,
let's do this. So, Zaki Vengeance is obviously... He's got his own... I think they're all Schecter, the whole band.
Yep.
But... his is very SG inspired, so it's hardtail. I'm thinking potentially Epiphone SG for this, or even maybe, I'm thinking what I can get best bang for the buck, maybe something like Chapman.
Yeah, you need something relatively hot. I think he's got JBs or Seymours.
Yeah, maybe like an ML2 or an Epiphone SG or something like that. I'm not going to need a lot of effects. But yeah, I could then get a bit of a nicer amp. So let's go. I'm going to head away from this section a little bit. I want to check out the Chapmans, I think, first. So I'm probably thinking standard series. I could go pro as well. I mean, we're running a pretty hot deal on these at the minute anyway. So ML2's 3.4, that's a hell of a lot of guitar.
Yeah.
For the budget. If I then went Pro Series, again, because these would then have Duncans in them.
Yeah, the Pro Moderns.
I think Pegasus Sentient, a lot of them. So that's 799, 749, 250 quid.
I'm going to go digital, I think.
Okay.
Not that it matters to you, but
no.
I think I'm going to go digital because I need quite a lot of effects.
Seeing as they're using digital anyway, Axe Effects, I might be tempted to go something solid state. Maybe Katana. I know it's the obvious choice, but I could go Pro Modern, get something that's got USA Seymour Duncans in it. I'm going to do it.
All right.
Because then I've got my effects built in as well.
Yeah.
I've then got my clean channel built in there. The brown sound, so 5150-esque, lead sound for anything Marshall. I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm going to go ML3 Pro Modern in this stunning cyber black, which is really, really nice. Single Duncan pickups. And don't crucify me in the comment section, mate. I'm going Katana 50, but it is justified, all right?
Anyway, I'm going to go back to where we were, sorry. Back to my homeland of all the digital bits of kit. I was recreating tones on the Quad Cortex. Again, that's about 1,600, 500, depending on, anyway, I think left I have about 250. I can't remember the price of that. I think
that's
it's about
599.
Yeah, 600. So
you've got 400 quid.
If I have this, I've got some spare change. I don't know, some black clothing or some cool Schecter gig bag case, or I don't know, something like that. But what's that? 700.
What about H-Check Stomp could be an option as well if you wanted to maybe go.
This just does it all.
Got expression pedal. He does use. It's more on the new stuff, like on the new album. There's a lot of weird synth work. Yeah. So I don't think we're going to be covering that. But
for all the Avenged that at least I grew up on, without trying to sound old, and all the stuff up to 2015, I'm kind of referencing in my head.
Yeah.
This, I think, should do a good job for the budget that we've set ourselves.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad shout. You're going
Schecter, Velton.
Omen Elite, and Velton. I'm going to go ML3 Pro Modern and Katana 50.
Nice.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, nice and simple.
Nice and simple. Let's head back to the video room. We are back in the studio.
We are.
And we have got our very complex and in-depth rigs with us. So, obviously, John is Mr. Sinister Gates. I am Zachy Vengeance in this one. We are doing our best impressions of jazz and punk rock. John, do you want to start off with your rig?
So, Sinister Gates' actual Schecter, signature, is very distinctive in the fact that it has a striking look. And this almost is in the same ballpark. It's red. It's definitely metal inspired. It's in the right style. And I wanted some definite features on it. So in the shop I talked about, I needed the kind of Floyd Rose style trim because there's loads of whammy bar stuff going on, and you need the stability. This is a Floyd Rose special trim. So it's a legit bit of kit, and it does work. The tuning has actually been good, and I can give it as much abuse as I want, and it's still going to work. We've got a nice simple sort of selection of pickups. So we've got 5-way, volume tone. Most of the time he's just on the bridge pickup or on the neck. He does have a Sustainiac in his, but that would just be a nice luxury. And again, we're trying to do this for a relatively...
Try and get a Sustainiac for under a grand.
Yeah, literally. They're great fun, and I would love to have one. But we've just gone standard neck pickup in this. I think for all those examples, I was on the bridge anyway.
Yeah.
Locking nut, which I'm not a massive fan of, but for this it kind of needed it. And it's just a great guitar. It feels pretty fast. Round the back we've got a nice kind of satin back and neck, and it feels nice and fast. I had to lower the action a bit just so it was kind of playable, because those things are hard. But it's a great guitar. Very, very kind of metal, I guess, is the word to describe it. On the floor, we've got a GP200 by Velton. We love this bit of kit. It's a really good, affordable, I think it's sub £300, so it's really, really great and accessible, and it does loads. So I mentioned I did a bit of research on Sinister Gates. On his Active X3 patches, I believe, has a EVH 5153 with a rat pedal and a bit of verb, really. So, looking at the patch, on the amp, we've got the EV51, so that's just the EV5153 model, I believe, with a matching cab. And it's dead simple. I had the Fat BB distortion pedal in for some of it, which is the closest kind of character I could get to a rat. A rat is like a fuzz, fat distortion-ish thing, somewhere in the middle there. And it did the job for the leads. For the rhythms, didn't really need it. Their rhythm sounds very much like an amp. It doesn't sound tube screamery, kind of cut off mid, all that low stuff like the modern progressive metal bands do. It's very old school metal. So that when I needed it, and then just a bit of verb, which I just used the church for, and that was for the leads, and that's about it. And then just volume pedal. And obviously Sinister Gates has a bit of clean stuff going on, it uses chorus sometimes, and you can totally dial that in with this, but for the examples it was like, let's just do the heavy hitting leads and all those crunchy rhythm stuff. Yeah, the Veilton can basically do all of that. They sometimes go in C sharp, well, drop C sharp, or in drop D for these. And that's the one thing like that I kind of don't like about Floyd Rose is if you want to be in standard, like some of their tracks are, like Buried Alive or something like that, that is in E, so E standard, but it's a bit of a faff with, you know, Allen keys and locking nuts on Floyd Roses. But other than that, it's a nice flexible rig. It's great for this kind of thing. So I'm pretty chuffed with that. Playing is not what Sinister Gates would do, but, you know, I'm only human, unlike him. Tell us about yours.
Yeah, so mine is, as you'll recall from earlier in the video, super stripped back. Zachy Vengeance, obviously Schecter like the rest of the band, but far more on the punk side of things. Obviously joins in on some of the dual leads like we did on Nightmare. But other than that, it is very much guitar, amp. There's not a lot of bells and whistles to that. Watch like the Ernie Ball video that him and Sinister Gates did. They talk about playing influences. Just straight up riffs, and that's pretty much it. So for me, I decided to invest a little bit more in the guitar over the amp. I didn't need loads of flexibility, so starting with guitar wise, I went with this stunning Chapman ML3 Pro Modern. It's got lovely neck through on the back, so if you are, or like we did for Nightmare, trying to actually get up there really quickly, it does help. Stainless steel frets as well, so if you are riffing or quite heavy-handed on the fretboard like I am, it's not going to wear through. Also got, I don't know if you can catch that, Oz, Hipshot locking tuners as well as Hipshot hardtail. And my budget permitted me once again to get a fret wrap just to stop a little bit of that unwanted noise from the guitar. But the main reason I did actually go for this is because it is equipped with a set of Seymour Duncan Pegasus Sentient pickups. Zachy doesn't use these. I'm pretty sure he's just like JB.
I think he uses JBs,
Yeah, so it's a little bit, say, lower output, or not quite as saturated as the Pegasus, but it's USA Seymour Duncan, it's going to get us in that ballpark.
I mean, similar with these, like...
You've got on your microphone, it's propped in your shirt, I think.
And that's kind of a similar situation on mine, so I think Sinister Gates has an Invader in the bridge. Well, he used to, back in the day. Now he's got his kind of signature Schecter set that are like chrome covered, but from the sound that I hear in my head of him, it's very high output Invader. And this is not an Invader, you know, it's lower output than that. But I think at the end of the day, if you've got the good sounding amp and all that stuff in place, the pickup's just that nice extra feel thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And maybe a bit of output, but...
Definitely. So yeah, then moving on to amps, I went with the Boss Katana 50. Zachy used, or I don't know if we haven't had an updated rig rundown from him. I'm pretty sure they're all on Axe Effects now. But again, from the sound I hear, it's Jet City, so very Soldano-ish. So the closest I could get to that would be, I was using the Brown sound on the Katana, so talking very sort of Van Halen-ish, a bit heavier. And I was just bringing in the smallest amount of boost on it as well, just to, it can get a little bit flubby, that sound. So it's not surgically proggy tight, but it's saturated enough that when John's doing leads over the top of it, it's going to back it quite nicely. But that is very much it. I mean, you can see here, it is literally guitar straight into amplifier, no pedals in between, and it's a really nice sound. It's fun to play as well. I think you had all the wet signal going on there. So.
Yeah, and we say wet, but like even at its most extravagant, I think sometimes he uses a flanger, phaser, and an octave in some solos, but it's very rare that he does, and most of the time, like when I researched this, and I'm a bit of an Avenged fanboy, like back in the day when I listened to the stems, he had loads of reverb on it, and well, not loads, just a bit of verb, no delay or anything, which is what you'd usually slap on a lead. But he's very kind of modest with his effects. But again, you can do whatever you want for Avenged stuff in this Veilton unit for sure. But yeah, again, quite a modest rig, but it does the job.
Yeah, definitely. And like we say, there's enough on the katana. It has got clean on it, so got a lot of modelling in the sense that the Veilton has as well. So if I was doing some cleaner stuff like in Buried Alive or anything like that, then it would be able to handle it absolutely fine. So, both rigs taken into account, I think I came in pretty much bang on budget, to be fair, because obviously we're running a fantastic epic deal on these at the minute. So my Chapman comes in at 749. This is the brand spanking new Boss Katana 50 Mark III, and I believe these are going to be about 289, but we've got links to everything below in the description, so do check those out just for accurate pricing on that. And then a fret wrap, which, you know, 10, 15 quid. So it's not bad going for that 1K mark. But what about yours, John?
Good question. Little edit. I've just done some maths via my phone. And the Veilton GP200, as we know, we've talked about this a lot, is 300 quid, so 299. And the Omen Elite is 549. So that comes to £848, which is decent, I think.
You've got enough for some more strings.
Yeah, gig bag, some strings, all the rest of it. And that's a great deal, I think. Again, we haven't got a speaker, just picking holes in our rigs, but well, mine, which would be nice. But again, DI is kind of the way it goes nowadays. So if you're using headphones, doesn't matter anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with that. Yeah,
I think we've done pretty well. But make sure you drop in the comments, let us know how we've done, anything that you would improve on that.
Yeah.
Then come on down and do it.
If Zach Avengers or Sinister Gates watch this, I love you and I'm sorry.
I will take side stage pass at download.
Oh, that'd be sound. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Be sure to like and subscribe. Remember, as soon as we hit the 1 million, one of those clones is going out to one of you very lucky winners. It's not going to be me. I don't think staff can enter. Unless I unsubscribe and then subscribe and then could win it. That'd be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been Ben.
I've been John.
Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.